Cool. 3, 2, 1. What's up, Mark?
How's it going, guys?
Welcome to episode number 2 of Just About Anything. I've got my good friend here, Mr. Marc Daly.
Hello.
Oh, cramylad, twitch.tv. I after the first episode I did with Hunter, I was kind of like, all right, I probably should figure out a schedule in terms of like when I'm going to get people on and whatnot. And we kind of missed dates a little bit, and then now we got back together. But I'm stoked. I'm very excited. I obviously know like the stuff that you do. Side note, he and I work together to. So I don't know how. I guess we don't work that closely together, but like we work in the same building.
Yeah, we're in the same building. Like the only thing that really separates us is a 2-foot wall.
Yeah.
Like we run into each other a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the Pokemon trainer, the man himself, the one that does catch them all.
I do attempt to catch them all.
Maybe tell everybody a little bit more about like what exactly you do.
So my name is Marc, but I also go by cramylad. It's a little bit of an anagram. Cram is Marc spelled backwards, and elad is daily spelled backwards. So a little funny anagram. My friend Jacob Jambrin came up with it many years ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, shout out to that guy. It's one of my really, really close friends. Best friend, man. Love that guy. But I was a competitive Pokemon TCG player. I started playing in the Black and White Legendary Treasures expansion. Blanking on what year that came out, but it was quite some time ago if it was Black and White. I started taking the back foot a little bit when I got more into live streaming. I noticed around my local area that like at our local store, we get like what is it, like anywhere, we never have at least 16 players show up. It's always at least 16.
There's always a 5-rounder.
To like sometimes 60 people show up for this local. So like we have a lot of good players coming out as well, like pros from around the area, Igor Costa, Jimmy Pendarvis, Daniel Altavilla, etc. So I was like, why aren't we streaming this? And I just found I liked it a lot more than playing. I still love playing the game. I played as much as I can, but it's a lot of fun. So I mostly just cast our locals. I point a camera at the table that I picked for the feature match, and I just commentate over it. And over the course of the night, like random players will jump on and help me out with the casting and whatnot.
It's always a blast.
Yeah, and also my girlfriend runs a tech for us as well most of the nights too. Shout out Elizabeth. She's awesome.
That she is. What got you into like streaming just in general? Like what is that guy drooping on you?
Yeah, hold on. All right, we're good.
Little Titan guy.
Yeah, Titan right there. All right, sick.
So like what I know kind of, and I talked a little bit about this with Hunter, and I talked about kind of how I started, but I am always curious to see how people got into like streaming in general, because I know you stream like non-Pokemon stuff before. Yeah, like you used to do like Final Fantasy and like League and whatnot. How long ago did that start?
So the first time I think I ever clicked start recording on OBS, I want to say that was like 2 apartments ago. That's how I remember things. So about 4 years ago, I had this, like, I still was stuck on the thought of it was just an inkling of an idea to stream locals and whatnot. So I was like, I kind of want to be a live streamer, but I dabbled with, I started doing Final Fantasy X playthroughs, and like it's fun. I just really wanted to play games. I played them a lot. I played a lot of Final Fantasy games at home a lot, and I was like, man, like I see a lot of Let's Plays on YouTube and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then I think I was trying to watch a tournament one day, and to be completely honest, I had no idea what Twitch was. And
just some purple thing with a bunch of people.
Yeah, I started watching. I was like, this is cool. Like, I can just watch other people play video games, like, instead of just like watching what I'm forced to watch on TV. Like, I can just see someone playing the game live, or like can see someone playing it before I purchase it, instead of waiting for like a gameplay video to pop up on YouTube or something like that. And I don't know, I just kind of wanted a slice of the action a little bit. Like, it looks like a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. If you're looking for something to do in your spare time, I highly recommend getting into live streaming. If you love playing video games, like, record yourself. It's fun.
So when I do this, I part of the reason I want to do it is because I have a lot of friends who are doing a bunch of stuff, and I want to make sure people see their stuff. but I also want it to kind of be like just like a conversation, you know, like between you and me. There's a lot of weird stuff that's, I guess, been going down with Twitch in like the last couple of month, I guess. I don't know if you've kept up with like any of the whole like Ninja and all that nonsense, but I remember you and I were talking about it at work. You were talking about like mixers guidelines and like TOS stuff. And like I said, this is if you don't want to talk or comment about any of this stuff, you're more than welcome to just be like, I don't want to talk about that. Oh, and then you can just tell me.
We'll see.
But it like, how do you think, like, do you think Twitch is still a good place to be right now? Because I can tell you from my perspective, I get why people would leave. Like I've had some of my friends who were obviously not ninja level, but like in the wake of him leaving, like so many people that I know of just stopped streaming on Twitch and went exclusively to Mixer as well.
So to be completely honest, I don't really know a lot of the drama that is surrounding Twitch, but what it seems like is Ninja got a good deal.
Oh, he got a really good.
Yeah, he got a banging deal and took it, and essentially like he inadvertently started a movement. It seems. But as far what's going on with Twitch lately, so it's like a bullet point of it.
Yeah. So basically, there's a lot of like problems with them not dishing out punishments like evenly. So like one streamer will do something, get banned. Streamer number 2 will do the same thing, not get banned. Or streamer number 2 may have like a connection with Twitch, and then they talk to their connect and be like, oh, my bad. They may get suspended, or probably not even. Sometimes they'll be like, just delete the VOD. And then they do that and nothing happens to them. So people were getting pissed off about that. Then there's the whole thing, which back in the day, well, I guess it was like last year, like Ninja had this whole thing where he had a commercial, like an ad that roll on other streamers' channels.
Oh, so I heard about that.
Yeah. So like there was that, which I find that ironic that recently where like they had other streamers' channels promoted on his dead channel and he was upset about that. I'm like, yeah, but you did the same thing, man. Yeah. But regardless, but I think people's problems is they're upset that they're not upholding their own terms of service evenly across the board. And I think it's interesting because I can see both sides of it. One thing is like, okay, you should treat everybody evenly, right? I think 100%. Everybody can just agree to that. However, from a business perspective, I can kind of understand it because YouTube does the same thing where it's like the big channels, like the big boys, like H3H3 and PewDiePie and whatnot, they have they have a person they can talk to at YouTube when something goes wrong.
Yeah.
And some would say that they deserve that because they've worked their asses off to get to the point that they're at. And that helps them when they do have problems. And
at the point they're at too, like
they have more.
There's so many things that could go wrong at a single time where they don't have time to wait for an email to go through, their customer service.
They're literally uploading stuff sometimes twice a day. Like it's wild.
It's their So if YouTube is essentially creating jobs for these people, right?
Right.
Yeah. So like, I think it makes total sense that they should have like reps for these people because, I mean, PewDiePie, H3H3, they bring a lot of viewership to YouTube, and viewership equals money, and they're probably a nice bit of a percentage, or they play some kind of percentage in YouTube's growth and how much in their income.
I guess what I'm asking is, I think that kind of thing within YouTube is pretty fair. What I don't think is really fair is the whole thing on Twitch's side where they punish people differently.
Oh, I don't think so either.
I wonder if they will actually get any like blowback from this whatsoever. Like you probably don't have to deal with that, I guess, in like the Pokemon Twitch side of, or the Pokemon side of Twitch.
Yeah, there's some things over on the Pokemon side of Twitch,
but I don't know. I was just curious for your opinion of like, so if you think that is something that they can keep going with.
If they're not dishing out bans bans and suspensions and whatnot, like fairly and accordingly, yeah, that's a huge problem that needs to be addressed.
Take for instance, so have you ever heard of Alinity, like the streamer?
No, I've not.
Okay, so she's a pretty big streamer. She had like some drama with PewDiePie last year at some point, but that's kind of irrelevant. On stream, she yeets her cat behind her in her stream, just chucks it because it started crawling on. And there've been instances of other people doing similar things to like pets and whatnot, insta bans. She does not get banned. The Twitch doesn't say anything. People are losing their shit over this kind of stuff, and that's kind of where I think a lot of people that are migrating are coming from.
She's literally abusing an animal on stream. Yeah.
That's where some people come from. Some people come from the thought process of like, oh, it's a cat, it'll be fine, or like that kind of thing isn't that big of a deal. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle where I'm like,
maybe depends on how much. I'm sorry if this gets anybody. It depends on like if she's like, yo, for every dono I'll throw my cat, like that's bad, because sure, the cat's gonna land on its feet, but
now you're cashing in on like
you're chucking the cat, its head is literally yoking around. Like, if you don't think that's a problem, you're insane. Like sorry.
The other thing was like she mouth fed the cat like alcohol, which that's bad. That's like,
she should be in jail for that.
Yeah, like there's a lot of weird stuff, but like again, people's complaint is like nothing has happened to her, and as not to come across as just like, why are they not like hitting her with the bad ban hammer or whatever. It's more so of like, you have people like that guy's pretty toxic, so I don't want to say him, but there's other streamers on the platform that do all kinds of other stuff that are gone, like Thanos snapped, just for the smallest stuff. Sometimes they'll get a life ban until like they go back and review it for what somebody reported as them saying the N-word, and they didn't even say it. Like, it's just simple stuff like that, and then like you have stuff like her that just, it doesn't happen. But I don't know. That my
I'm trying to see it from like the business's side. Like, so, maybe they're busy, maybe because they got Amazon going on.
I think it's because she brings in so much money. It's the same thing. The reason why I made the comparison with YouTube is the same reason why the guys like H3 and PewDiePie have these liaisons at YouTube to kind of field stuff for them.
And Twitch does not do this?
I would imagine that they do, but they don't publicize it as much as YouTube does. Like, so I would imagine that like there is a person that Alinity can pick up her phone and call at Twitch and say, hey, this thing just happened. What should I do? Like, versus like me or anyone else, they can't do that. It's more of, I'll send this email while my channel is still banned. I'll send this email, and whenever they get back to me, they get back to me. Like,
yeah, that's not okay. When it comes to like, if you're gonna ban someone from a platform entirely, like not let them use it, like due process. Yeah, you know, like not just take like what chat is saying for face value.
So then you, I'm not intending on trying to put any words in your mouth, but like, so do you think then that the solution would be like everyone gets the same treatment that these bigger people do in terms of like time? Like, obviously they don't have enough staff to have someone on staff for each and every streamer, but more so of like, all right, so the time that you would take to like look into this whole entity thing, you take that same time to look into everything before you dish out a punishment.
They just need to add more people to the staff. Yeah. Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I think that it's a platform that like we as streamers want it to grow, and like I want to be able to have my live stream be like, not everything's family friendly, obviously. Right. Say the F-bomb and whatnot every now and then, but like toxicity and stuff like that just needs to be stomped out. Like, because what's it doing? Because some other person in that chat is going to see the same toxicity, and now that person in the chat that's like, holy crap, this chick I'm watching that I'm donating hundreds of dollars to for no goddamn reason to throw her cat.
I love the whole like. Have you seen the Del Belfine thing?
Oh, selling the bathwater?
Yeah. I think that is hilarious to me, but
that is pretty
I didn't mean
funny.
to cut you off.
Oh no, you're good.
But
it's imprinting. Like a lot of people on Twitch go there because like, you know, it's a safe haven to watch video games on, literally. And like, what if they're watching so and they're throwing their cat and they're watching as a viewer and they're like, holy crap, that looks cool, I want to do that. And now you're starting a whole movement of people that are streaming to throw their freaking cat. Like it's just people see things and
I think especially younger kids.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what a lot of Twitch's audience is.
Like, and I've run into that myself. I was talking to Hunter 2 weeks ago about how we brought a fan on to be on an episode of the podcast that we used to make. I knew that the person, or I assumed, I should say, it was poor judgment on my part. I assumed that they were 16, 17, maybe older, hopefully older. I believe he was 16. He had his permit because he drove out here, drove to this very place.
Oh man!
Gets out of his car and I'm just like, that is a child. So like normally we had beers and stuff and I was like, well, we got to get rid of all that. Like,
oh, yeah.
But it was interesting. It was kind of like a not so much a shock, but more of just like, oh yeah, there's kids on here. Like there's kids. But that being said, I think, and not to go too, I guess, not political or whatever, but I do fear the concept of like getting rid of what is considered toxic, because the question becomes who decides what is toxic. Yeah. Is it the people that are watching it? Like, is what's considered toxic on my streams also considered toxic on yours? Does Twitch decide it? Does YouTube decide it? And then it makes things very gray and messy.
I think morals need to come into place and trying to be as unbiased as possible. And the thing, like, what I mean,
it's really hard for people.
What I mean is like, if there's some incel in your chat and he's saying some wild stuff, like this person's fat, this person's ugly, this person's this person's that right there should be like #1 red flag, ban that guy, he's gone forever, see ya buddy. Like there should be guidelines set in place and, you know, have a good moral compass when making said guidelines, and like, again, trying to make things as unbiased as possible. Like if somebody comes in and says like, for example, on a lot of Pokemon streams, people will come by and be like, man, this deck sucks, I don't like it. Like, okay, that's a valid opinion. You think the deck sucks, yeah, sure. But he's not saying this deck sucks, but that guy playing it, oh my god, I hope he just hurts
personal
himself.
stuff.
Yeah, personal like, shit. Like, and that right there, it's like things like that should not come into question whatsoever. Right there, like that is what should be considered toxic. Anything that's degrading to another human being should be considered toxic. So I'm just gonna play devil's advocate. Sure.
And my goal is not to like.
No, I love that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. I don't, because sometimes, I love like talking about this stuff, but I think sometimes it can go across as like, oh, we're arguing about this thing.
Oh no, the viewers want to hear both sides of it.
Yeah.
Like hear every single side of the argument, and that's awesome.
My thing is, take for instance the whole fat thing. There were granted these two guys were friends. There were two comedians that I kind of follow. One's Bert Kreischer. The other one is Tom Segura. Took me a while to get there.
Tom Segura.
Tom Segura.
He was on. That guy did an episode of Hot Ones recently.
Yeah.
That guy's funny. Yeah, that's super funny.
They're hilarious. But they had this whole campaign of like fat shaming each other because they were both working out. They're both fat. Like they both were fat. They're in a little bit better shape now, but the whole point of it was they were just trashing each other. Like, but it was with the sense of they both knew they were trying to like lose weight, and they had this whole challenge going on with Joe Rogan and all this stuff. But that got taken out of context in some places where people were like, oh, well, you're fat shaming people or you're fat shaming each other. Like this should be banned. Like you shouldn't be able to do this.
Yeah.
So my thing is not everybody's morals are the same and not everything, it means the same thing in different contexts. So having say something like, oh, well, I think this person is fat. While is a mean thing to say, and I think if somebody is consistently coming to someone's chat and like just posting shit like that, like you're not really helping anything. You're not doing any, like you're not adding anything to the experience by anyone. If anything, you might be taken away. So I can understand why people would be upset by that, but I feel like that can be a slippery slope in terms of where do you draw the line at what, like, again, who determines what is bad, you know?
Yep.
Like,
that makes sense.
So I not saying that people shouldn't do anything, but I feel like cutting stuff with like a clean blade sometimes cuts the stuff that you don't want to, you know? Like you end up getting rid of comedians, like people who are doing it in joke, or like the whole thing where like people who are playing video games or whatever, like, oh, I'm gonna kill this guy, or we're gonna destroy this team, or we're gonna shoot this guy, or we're gonna hit, like, versus like some actual psychopath who's on there, like some Eugene who's on there with this fucking gun or whatever. It's like those two things, while a robot would see them as the same, are very different. So I don't know. The unfortunate thing is I'm not proposing any solutions here. Yeah, I'm just stating how they can go wrong. I guess, but I guess
environment plays a big role too, like time, place, environment, all that stuff. Definitely if you're on a live stream talking to anywhere from 1 person to 10 persons to 100,000 persons, like, I don't know, you probably shouldn't be saying like stuff like that because it just looks bad on you for professionalism.
It's probably not a good look unless you're somebody like Dr. Disrespect or something that like that built a whole like persona around like being that guy. Like,
I mean, but we were younger growing up and whatnot. Like when we're in our group of friends on Xbox Live chat, when it's just us like saying the most craziest crap to each other. Like, I mean, it's just, I don't know, man, the world's evolving. Yeah. Like things that were cool back then, you just, it took people a long time to realize, man, I probably shouldn't say that. Like, and that's where it's ending up. And yeah, now a lot of it's trickled over to the gaming side of things now too. I mean, you're seeing the news now. I won't go into this one too deeply because I know this is a very big subject matter right now. Like video games, gun control and whatnot. Like all this is just trickling down.
If it's something that you don't want to go into, okay. So I guess I should back up. My philosophy when it comes to this podcast is just about anything. I don't really care what you want to talk about.
Okay.
You can talk about whatever you want. In post, if you ever want me to cut something out, no problem. I'll do it.
Oh, sure.
But as far as I'm concerned, if you don't mind, don't be concerned about my sensitivities in terms of like wanting to talk about something. So because I'm actually somewhat intrigued by that whole concept of like the guns and games and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but if that is something that you don't want to talk about, we don't have to.
I'm just scared of getting bodied by my viewers.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair.
But
that's fair.
I don't know. Like, I know a lot of my viewers also are like, they think they're heavy thinkers on a lot of things. And like, I know I have some adults on there that like just enjoy podcasts as well and whatnot.
Tell you what,
if we don't go too political, go for it, man.
Like my thing is, so some people will say like that games are like a scapegoat and people or government officials use that as like, hey, they have guns in there. They're relatively new, and these increase in gun violence, that's also really new, must be correlated.
Yeah.
And I think because there's so many studies that have been done at this point that prove that wrong, that it's kind of sad when I see people try to bring that up, because it's like we've been here, man. we did this back in the 80s. We're doing it again now. We're doing it again now.
Were we doing it when Grand Theft Auto Vice City came out?
Grand Theft Auto Vice City came out.
Yeah,
we did it when Postal came out. We did it when Doom came out. We did, like, it's every single time. It's like we keep coming back to the same thing, and it's like, how many times are we going to come back to this until you just say, okay, maybe it's not this. Like,
funny story. Growing up, my dad bought a copy of Postal at the local Best Buy, and I think the game cover was like, it was a triangle with a dude on it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I never knew what it was. My dad would not let me, like, whenever they were playing it, like, door was shut, I couldn't see it. I was like, what the fuck is this game, dude? Yeah.
That's always the worst thing with kids, because like the thing that you shut them off away from, that's the one thing they want to know about. It's like,
I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty fucking curious of what that game was. But like it's okay, so it's these companies too that are like the I guess political figures, like maybe they're looking at the grand scheme of things, like what makes more money, firearms or video games. We definitely don't want to lose
firearms.
We don't want to lose we don't want to lose this organization's backing on us, so we'll do anything we can to smear something else to, like you were saying, scapegoat it.
Yeah.
Because touch, like what we were saying a second ago, time, place, and environment mean a lot of things. Like if you have a kid at home who is like not in the best living situation, like he's getting yelled at by a lot of people left and right, and he's just never having a good time, like you probably don't want to give him something that, especially at a young age, that's open to interpretation. Like, oh my god, I can only escape by playing this game, because it's pre-existing conditions that trigger these things, and the video game is just there, and they want to blame it as an accelerant for it. But no, in my honest opinion, and I said I wasn't gonna go, but hey, we're here. We're here. I don't care now. Like, people will probably appreciate this. Like,
again, if you ever say, I can always cut it out.
Yeah,
so it's not the big deal.
Stop blaming the game.
Yeah.
Like something else around that person was fucked up far before that game came into play. I can't think of a logical situation where a normal thinking person, someone that's not affected by any ailment of any kind, would just go to a Walmart and see a copy of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and be like, I'm gonna go fucking kill this person now. No, like something else was surrounding that person that pushes them to that. Like, a lot of people don't understand. Like the brain is a massive thing that we like don't have.
Still don't have 100. Yeah, that's fair.
Like, there's so many chemicals and things that react a certain way. Like I know this sounds probably extremely I don't know what the word is for, but I'm just, this is what I think sounds right to me.
Yeah.
I take no political standpoint at all.
Yeah.
Like I won't talk about, to be honest, I don't remember if I voted the last election. Like, I don't care about politics at all. Yeah. I just care about what's right.
Yeah.
That's all I care about, is what I consider in my mind to be right, and what I hope that the people around me also share the same idea as well. Because I know there's a lot of us. We hang out with a lot of people at work. Too, we're all just a bunch of nerds. And like, I've never heard us once talk about politics and stuff like that. We all just want to believe what's right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's also the again, devil's advocate thing, where I play a lot of video games. You play a decent amount of video games, I would imagine. Well, I actually want to ask you about that later, but
sure.
So like, I'm sure there's one side of this where it's like, well, you're invested. You don't want to see anything bad happen to the games because you're in that world, you're in that community. Like, so there may be some bias in where I'm coming from in terms of, oh, the games aren't doing it. Well, of course you would say the games aren't doing it because you're playing the games, like you're a streamer or whatever. The problem I have, the counter argument to that is, yeah, but now there's also a bunch of studies now that prove my opinion, at least in terms of scientifically correct. So there's that on that. On the subject of video games, and that is slightly less charged. I'm sorry for taking you down that road.
No, it's fine. But like, I guess a really quick cleanup point on that is fuck, I just had it.
I'll come back.
What was I saying? Okay, we can just edit this crap out too. This is great. So what I was saying was, touching back on the game before we move on from that is like, again, like time and place and environment. Like I'm trying to think about it from the adult standpoint too. Well, like I'm seeing children play this. I'm seeing this go up. It must
Right.
be, but I don't know. I think more in-depth studies need to be taken on the people that are affected by these ailments that go out and do these atrocities. Study their brains more. Study them.
I think mental health is something that is so like, it's hard to convince people to invest in it because it's something that you can't physically see. So for like, imagine going to an insurance company and saying, all right, man, and some insurance companies do this, but like, all right, you know how you cover like all these copay programs and all this stuff with like dental and eye and whatnot. Well, now we're going to slap on a whole nother industry in terms of like therapists and psychologists. Is that a thing? Is that a word? Is that the right thing?
Psychologists, yeah.
Fact check. Okay. I get the nod. Like that, it's hard to go to those companies and say, all right, we're slapping on an entire industry. And then you have the problem of like, all right, well, how much does this cost now? Are we raking up the cost? Like, I've looked into that stuff. It is expensive. It is expensive for anybody to like try to like, even with like the lower end services like BetterHelp. I don't know if you've ever seen that like ad on like they had a whole like fiasco or whatever, but like that stuff's not cheap. So now you have a problem where all right, so this person has some kind of mental issue, whether it's chemical imbalance or if it's an environmental like problem where like they are just growing up in the worst possible home or in the worst possible community, and they are incentivized to make these horrific decisions. Like this person wants to try to get help. Oh shit, it costs $400. Guess what? They're already in a shitty like environment. Guess what they don't have? $400. Like, so like now you have the problem of like, how do you get help to these people that obviously need that? And unfortunately, we hear all this stuff about like, well, get rid of the guns or get rid of the video games and get rid of all this stuff. And it's like, while those more online with the guns, while it may be a very short-term solution to your problem, it is not a long-term solution because people will find some way to hurt other people.
Yeah.
If history has proven anything, it's that. Like it does not matter what the tool is. There will be a tool that people will use to hurt other people when they're pushed to that point.
The right thing is there's been enough episodes of Law and Order SVU to show us that deaths can be incurred in many ways.
Let me tell you about Ice-T.
Yeah, let me tell you about Ice-T. That's messed up.
That's messed up.
That's messed up.
You telling me? I forgot what the fucking. What was the line?
Something about. Oh man,
you telling me that semen in her ear canal?
Yeah, something about semen in her ear canal.
I love that guy. You know he's in like some new video game. Oh shit. This is gonna drive me nuts. I heard his voice line. Borderlands. He's actually he's in the new Borderlands 3 as one of like a very central character. I was like, that's hilarious. He's like this like AI inside this robot, like, but like he's having this like spat with his ex-wife who is in another robot, and like you have to try to like get them through it, and it's just like him like just ripping on this other. It's hilarious. Like it's really good.
You know he's in a band, right?
What?
You didn't know that?
A band?
Ice-T is in a band. This band is called Body Count. Dude, it's insane. This band goes so hard, dude. Literally, yeah, Body Count.
Body Count band. First picture is literally him just like, all right, we got the blood lettering here.
Dude, like, they go hard.
That's hilarious.
They're one of the first metal band, or I think...
It's a metal band?
Yeah, it's a metal band, dude.
What?
Scroll on, look at that Grammy, dude.
Receives first ever Grammy nomination for Best Metal Performance with Single Black Hoodie.
It's so like, oh my so they God. He has a suit, or this band has a Suicidal Tendencies cover.
Okay.
And it's hilarious. Like a lot of the lyrics he replaces with like Ice-T things. And then there's another
hilarious.
song that's big. It's Talk Shit Get Shot.
I think I've heard that
song.
one. Yeah.
He actually quotes it in a Law and Order episode. It's funny. he's undercover, working as a inmate for some prison, or he's an inmate in prison, and you can't say shit on TV. So like he's like, back from my town, we used to have a saying, talk smack get shot, or like talk crap get shot, like something like that. It was insane. It was so
hilarious.
funny. I heard it and I was like, but
I gotta listen to this now.
oh,
that's hilarious.
Yeah. He has another big song. It's called B Word in the Pit. It's about girls moshing. When you get time, dude, look up Body Count. It's an insane band. Shout out Ice-T.
One of these days, I will actually hook up this thing to the capture so that we can
look at it as well.
Yeah. I thought about doing that, and then I was like, now I'm very much regretting like getting that set up. But
oh man, yeah, Ice-T. That's so insane. He's a voice actor in a Borderlands game coming up.
Maybe I can splice. I probably will splice this in. Like,
okay,
just put it over. That way, people can see what we're talking about.
What are you saying? Video games, though?
Yeah. So I know. Obviously, we play like different card games and whatnot. I don't know exactly what kind of video game stuff that you play. Like, I know obviously like the very base level like League and like Pokemon Online, which that doesn't really count in my opinion. Like, that is just a digital version of the card game.
Yeah.
But like, what kind of stuff do you play?
So, I love RPGs.
Okay.
I like JRPGs a lot. I like MMORPGs a lot as well. I would have
never pit you as like a JRPG guy.
I used to like not a lot of JRPGs, but like one of my favorite ones is from Xbox 360, Star Ocean: The Last Hope.
Okay,
that game
I never played that, but I've seen a lot of it played.
Game's insane. Yeah, I like that game a lot. Growing up, I played a lot of Tales of Symphonia on the GameCube and stuff like that. But
that was pretty fun.
I found a lot of my time getting sunk into World of Warcraft growing up. I'm sure I play that's plagued a lot of people that we know. I don't know, the game where you can just literally create a character, put yourself in this world, and literally just like go on an adventure, level up and stuff. It's so sick.
I gotta get you on Warframe, man.
I tried playing it on the Switch.
Don't do that.
No, it's terrible.
That's a bad idea.
Suck. Yeah, I need to just re-download on the PC.
Yeah, man.
But I like a lot of RPGs. I am into a lot of teamfight tactics right now, but like as everyone else is.
Except for my brother, I'm getting a disapproval turn over there. He's a Dota Underlords.
Yeah, he's an Underlords fighting game community kind of guy. Yeah, that's okay. Fighting games are tight.
You've never been like super into fighting games?
No, I play like Smash and stuff, but fighting games like take a lot of grinding to get good at those. And I don't know. I just liked raiding with I just like raiding in RPGs and MMOs and stuff like that. Actually, this game is insane. The Final Fantasy 14, I put a lot of time into that game.
Yeah.
That one's a lot of fun.
Didn't they just have like a new thing? That
they just came out with Shadowbringers. I want to play it so bad. I haven't gotten to the store manager at Waterford. Shout out Bobby Clark. That guy is like, just every time he sees me, like we'll be having a normal conversation. He's just like, "You play Shadowbringers yet?" He's like spicing there. Like, no, dude, I haven't. I'm like, oh, he's like, oh my god, you gotta play it. You gotta play it. But
and we can get back to this. It reminded me of something that I was thinking about making a video on specifically, but so I think that now games have skewed towards not being that competitive. So let me elaborate. So back in the day, like back in the time where like I first started thinking about playing in tournaments and whatnot, the games were Halo, Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, Super Smash Brothers, Street Fighter, like fighting games and like first-person shooters where you knew what you were doing every time you got into the game. Now, I feel like games may or may not, and I wish I had somebody would like say, hey, oh, well, you're wrong, Joe, and here's why. But like you have like Apex, Fortnite, like even like card games to me seem like they're on like the uptick. Like it seems as though like people are more interested in games that have a non-zero like degree of luck attached to it. And I feel like that's bad.
Well, like just like extremely linear gameplay.
Well, not just linear. It's like so say for instance, if you compare something like Call of Duty to Fortnite, when you drop into a match of Call of Duty, you know what you're getting. Like, you know your loadout. You set that up yourself. You know the map. Like, nothing is random. Everything that you're like playing against your opponent, the closest to random really is not knowing what your opponent's loadout is.
Oh yeah.
That's about it. Like, versus in Fortnite and Apex Legends and PUBG and all that stuff, it's, you don't know what you're getting when you land. You could get a shotgun. You could get an M4. You could get a Peacekeeper. Like, you don't know. Like, it's out of your hands. And like, or you could drop right next to somebody else who dropped right next to some level 3 armor. You get nothing. Like, it's like, but these are the games that are being like pushed into like competitive space now, and it's just kind of like, I feel like that's going to end up trending poorly for people.
I can definitely agree. I don't like I'm not a fan of Fortnite at all.
Neither am I.
Yeah, I think that game sucks.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah, sorry for anybody out there that likes Fortnite.
Yeah,
find something else.
Just everyone else.
Yeah. Like, you know, I remember playing that game, and I played it back when Tilted Towers was still on the map before they like blew it up or whatever they did.
Fell or something.
The game's bad, but I land and like I just get a pistol.
Yeah.
But then the guy in the other room gets like
Sniper.
blue shoddy, a sniper. Yeah, and it's like, this is so annoying, dude. Like, this sucks. Or like, you take one shot at somebody and then a whole freaking wall becomes like in front of them, and like, yeah, I don't like that.
That was my biggest thing with that game was I probably could. I just never wanted to invest the time it took to get good at building in that game.
You gotta be good at Minecraft.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't want to touch that with like a 10-foot
yeah,
stick, but
I don't like. It's still weird to me how they have competitive tournaments for that game. So what, do they get like 100 computers and everyone sits around and whoever's the last man standing?
I think they have squads, maybe like teams. Regardless, like my point is, I guess it's even to the same degree as card games. Sometimes I think to myself, it baffles me that games like Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon even have a competitive scene, because so much of those games is out of your hands.
Oh yeah.
Because like, it's like, yeah, I'm playing it professionally, but yeah, what happens if you end up getting on like a just really unlucky streak? That's not a display of like your skill, you know?
Oh yeah, no, not at all.
Like, I don't know, like it, my main concern is that that this is not just a trend, and that things will skew more to games like that, and gone will be the time of games like Call of Duty and Halo and whatnot, where like, or even just fighting games in general, which I don't think they're ever going anywhere because they have too big of a scene. But
yeah,
like,
no one's ever gonna not want to like beat the crap out of it. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe my concern is unfounded, or doesn't have any legs to stand on.
So this is crazy actually. You say this. Last night when I was working Polarity's stream at the Geek Easy, Hungrybox was there.
Nice.
And he was playing. And when I went to put him on stream, like I went to the bracket, he was in losers bracket. I was like, this guy loses.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a famous guy, right?
Yeah.
And then I literally watched him get taken out of the tournament by like, so like, I think a lot of these games have a lot more luck going into them lately, but like,
yeah, even Smash, like, so they introduced it. They introduced it. That's not a word. Yeah, they introduced the hero. Yeah, and his kit involves RNG. And it's like, why would you ever put something like that in a game like that is supposed to be a fighting game? Like, my I guess philosophy when it comes to a fighting game, I want to hit a button and it do the thing that I want it to do every time, every single time. That's the same reason why people were upset about tripping in Brawl, where like it was like, hey, sometimes you're just gonna get fucked. It's like, people don't like that. Like, and then they just throw it. Like, I feel, and even now with the hero, I don't hear that many people like being like. There's obviously some people that were upset about like an RNG-esque character in the game.
Yeah, isn't he banned in Australia?
Probably. Yeah. Like, I think he will ultimately end up being a character that will be banned in a lot more than that, because it goes against everything that is a fighting game to have a character like that.
He has a move that he can just like that just deletes somebody, right? Yeah, that's
on chance,
ridiculous.
And you don't know, like, it just can't happen.
Yeah,
but
that's terrible.
Are we right about that? Hero just having a move that can just delete somebody, just like get rid of them. Like, okay, yeah, that's not good. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's I don't like how a lot of games are falling more into RNG based things.
That being said, I like card games.
Yeah,
like,
I like
it's the reason why
card
we play them. Like, I enjoy playing them. It's just
no, I have been on the wrong end of RNG sometimes. Like Pokemon actually just got out of a format where we had a card that said you could play it on the first turn of the game. So this sucks if you're going second. You can play this card and it says both players shuffle their hand into their deck and draw 4 cards. You start a game of Pokemon with 7 cards. So you literally start your first turn of the game with 2 less cards because you're going to draw 1 for turn and have 5. So it's like that one other card was my supporter. The other card was this. Like, you literally get pulled out of games because of stupid crap like that. And like now going forward, we're missing a bunch of like search cards that we used to have, but I think there is where a lot more deck building and skill comes in, where it's like, well, if I have these dudes in play, like I can make it work because, you know, in my deck I know I'm gonna hit this percent of the time.
yeah.
And I think Magic's like the best game for an example of like as least amount of RNG as possible.
I think that is incorrect. I would disagree with you.
You get mana flooded in that game really bad. Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Julian.
Oh man.
My problem with Magic is I was actually talking to my brother about this a couple days ago. When you draw your opening hand, there are 3 things that can happen. Either A, you can draw a good hand that has a good balance of like spells and lands, or you draw too many lands, or you draw too few lands. The mere fact that that is a thing is not good.
Yeah.
Like when I sit down and play in a tournament that I've paid money for, I would like for it to be my skill versus my opponent's skill, whether that's in terms of like deck building, like actual playing. But that's not how card games really work. No card game works that way. Just by it being the nature of a card game, you are randomly pulling a card off the top of your deck. But Magic's problem is, on top of having to randomly pull a card off the top of your deck and hope to get what you need, you also need to draw out just the right amount of lands to play.
Yeah, and hopefully you top deck more, right?
Yeah, like that luck mechanic is something that I'm just like, man, I wish they had a way to fix it, but the game's been around for so long that there's no way they're going to touch that mechanic. So
yeah, Pokemon is like, we draw a hand of 7. If we have a basic, we can start playing the game. But like sometimes it's like it's your Dedenne, and you don't want to start your Dedenne ever. You want that boy in your hand.
Yeah. I don't know. I like card games. I work in an industry with card games. It's just card games have a luck factor, and yet they are still looked at in terms of like a game of skill, which I'll concede they are, but they're also a game of luck. They're both. Like,
how skillful can you be with your luck?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Or how my problem is when the luck is so skewed that no matter how skillful the other player is, they're not winning. When like Yu-Gi-Oh is probably the worst when it comes to that, where it's like you open up with your play, like you have your perfect hand, but I have these 3 cards in my hand. On your turn, you're going first, but I can stop you. It's like, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just happening. Like, I don't know.
You could be the best player in the world, but literally if they have like,
it's like I got Ash Blossom
you got
and
Ash
Gamma. Sorry, like you don't get to play. But I love the fact that I'm sure there's people that are from my Twitch channel that are gonna hear this part of this podcast and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh! Day in my life. But no, there's like Duel Links. That's kind of like popular now. So maybe they do. No. But I don't know, man. I don't know if there's any. Is there anything, I guess, that not to like close out or anything, but like, is there anything that's you got going on that you want to like super shout out or anything like that? Or
so the new season of Pokemon did just start. The new competitive season, the 2019 2019 to 2020 season.
I actually saw a video of the kid that won the World Cup.
Oh, dude. Oh, really quick. Yeah. So,
that was hilarious.
Put a gif of it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's going in there.
Really quick,
Isaac Tercera.
Oh no.
So, World Championships happening, and oh man, there's so much controversy surrounding the World Championship right now between the Masters final and then that award ceremony.
Oh, didn't somebody like get DQ'd or something like that?
No, Shintaro Ito in finals received a double prize penalty in game 1 of finals, and like it was, I'm pretty sure. Sorry if this is wrong. Please don't hang me over this, but he was already at 3 prizes, and when you get a double prize penalty, it just like deletes that, so he just has to take 1 more prize to win. But he saw the 3 prizes on the table. He says take only 1 more. So like that happened. But during the awards ceremony, big head at Pokemon. I think it was Masuda. It was either Masuda or oh man, I can't remember the other gentleman's name, but it was one of those 2 very important guys that work at Pokemon.
Yeah.
And they were handing out the trophies during the awards ceremony. And he goes hand it to this little kid. I'm pretty sure he was in the juniors division, which is like
it
the
was
youngest,
juniors. Yeah.
Hands him. So the Pokemon trophy, I'm sure he'll put a picture of it in here.
Yeah.
It's a trophy of Pikachu holding a trophy for whatever color. It's actually adorable, dude.
Yeah, it's a cool looking trophy.
Yeah, it's such a sick trophy, dude. I would like get it in a gun safe if anything. Those things are insane looking. But goes to hand it to the kid, and the little cup on the Pikachu's trophy just snaps off and rolls to the floor, and it's just like,
oh no.
it's like peak viewership of the stream. Like the chat's just like doing this. Like no, like it's like if it would have happened to a master, I think it would have been a little bit better because like they could have been like, oh, and like played it off or something and made it funny. But like this little kid is just like,
oh no.
What happened?
And then the best part is when they take it back to try to fix it, and there's just the video I saw freezes on like the kid just like, oh, it's gone now, and he's just literally like this. It was like my prize, it's gone. It's so funny.
God, it was bad.
I felt bad for them, but it was also hilarious.
Yeah, there was a lot of controversy in that, but things coming up though. So this is a new season started. That means there's a lot of potential for new decks and new strategies and whatnot. So all the league cups, league challenges, and all the local events, we are going to be streaming every single one of them, depending on which cool stuff location they're at. And if I can try to get myself in other doors, expect a lot more local streams and a lot more event streams over the weekends and whatnot. But something I'm really excited to bring up actually is this year, I'm going with Critical Hit GG again to Daytona Regionals, and they brought me on to be one of their techs.
Nice. For
the stream. Yeah, Adam Doricott, TJ DeGiacomo, Emily Engel, Chip Ritchie, Michael Sutsky, everybody on the VG side, Gabby, Regina, all those people are super, super awesome, super smart people. Like, they just
talked to Adam a good bit. He's a pretty cool dude.
Oh yeah, Adam's a goat, dude. That's awesome. But they know that I have such a passion for live streaming, and like I just want to get like better at this and whatnot. And they were like, hey, why don't you come along and do this event with us? So I'm going to that one, and it's undetermined, but no leaks.
Yeah.
I might be going to Dallas with them too, but to do production for the regional as well. And I'm so excited.
Nice.
The Pokemon community is something I hold near and dear to my heart. And if I can bring them content and help produce said content, because like me not being able to travel as much, like I deal with my own financial issues and whatnot, like everyone else does growing up, and people our age. I don't have money to travel at all these events, and like as much as I would love to, like I want to so bad. I wanted to go to Worlds. I wanted to go to everything else over the season, but the next best thing is Twitch.
Yeah.
Like,
if you can't go there, they can come to you. So,
and if I have my friends there, I can be like, yo, what's doing good right now? I'm watching the stream right now. So and so is on playing. Like, it's the next best thing. So I
guess another strange question, I guess, for you. Okay. So if you, what is your end game as far as like, does it have to do with solely just streaming games on Twitch, or do you think it's going to skew more towards like Pokemon? Like, do you, or some mixture of the two? You know, like what is like Marc has $10 billion. He can go wherever he wants. What is Marc doing?
So, what I would love to do is open up my own like event center.
Okay.
Have an event center that doesn't necessarily sell single cards or anything, but we host like all kinds of events. Like we have computers set up so people can play like 5v5 matches on like League of Legends or something. They can rent it out to their friends, and then like we have league cups, we have a bunch of open events there, like cash tournaments. Just like have a super sick event center. If that's one of my dreams, is to open up an event center just for people to come play games. And not necessarily selling singles again, because I'm not going to compete with Big Brother.
Yeah.
Like Big Bear. Yeah. Shout out our job, by the way. Yeah. Like Cool Stuff does a lot.
Yeah.
I would never want to pose any competition in that field anyways. Like, but a place for people to play still though.
I like that. I've seen, unfortunately, those things come and go. I'm not trying to shoot down your thing.
Yeah.
Were you around where what was it called?
Was it around here?
Yeah.
Was it Wasteland?
No, it was a little bit, like a good bit ago. It was like a gaming cafe.
Apocalypse Gaming?
I remember them. I did go to their for a little bit. God. What was the place that the Smash Brother tournaments used to happen? It was like, start with a G? No, not Gathering Place. Dear God, not Gathering Place. Whatever. I can't remember it. But like, there was that place. There was another place that our friend Bobby's friend started. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I went there a couple times too. That place was dope, but I don't think it's still there anymore. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it's still there. Maybe we can go check that out.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But I always enjoy going to those places. I think the hardest thing is making those things profitable.
Yeah, because it's
tough, man.
Upkeep with all the computers and stuff. Like you probably have to get like subscriptions, memberships, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
some kind of income and like concession and whatnot. But
so here's an idea. What you probably could do is not rely on that as a place of profit in terms of like making money, and just kind of do a hybrid version of what Swifty does, where you have your place where people can come and do whatever, but you have your thing that is bringing in the income, like your stream, like your whatever, but just have it like an open place for people to come and play.
That is another idea / dream / goal of mine, is like, I would love to have like a nice streaming house where like me and like 2 other big live streamers, like, so we can all collab and whatnot. Like, because the end goal, I would love to be partnered on Twitch. I would love to be raking in 100+ viewers every time I go live. Like, if a gaming center, that's a very far-fetched thing. But like, if again, the $10 million scenario, I would love to just have a very nice streaming house and just have a very successful stream. Like, as far as Pokemon events are, like, I'm gonna do that as long as it goes for. Like, until you guys tell me to stop, basically. Which hopefully is never.
I don't think that's in the pipeline at all. Yeah,
it's going really well, and I think our crowd loves it. We're getting consistent viewership, but I would like to be a variety streamer, probably, like, so I like people liking the stream for, like, not to sound narcissistic, but like, this is a thought that every streamer has, every content creator has, is the content creator wants to be like, not only for their content, but like for their personality.
Right.
And like, I would love to be a personality like on Twitch, and like, I don't know, like spreading some kind of positivity somewhere.
I often find myself kind of bouncing back and forth with that concept. Part of it's because I looked at a lot of my older streams, and I feel like I had more of the personality, more like Dr. Disrespect kind of vibe, where everything was meant to be super hype and like very upbeat and just like super energetic and whatnot. And as I'm an old man now, I don't do that as much, and that's not me anymore. So like my streams are more chill. The vibe is a lot more less energetic. And I've also noticed like the type of people that come in are different. Like back then, that's why we had a kid come in to do the podcast, was because we're doing that hype thing where like Allie, what's up guys? Like da da da. Like it was that. So that brings in the kids, and got nothing against kids, but again, I'm an old man now. Like that's not my vibe. But I do find myself kind of going back and forth. Like, is it better for me to do that, or is it better for me to have a persona kind of thing? Like, I don't know what your kind of thought process on that, but
so personas, man, it's tough.
It's got to be draining. Like, right?
Like shout out to you if you can do that. Like that is a talent. That is a hard-earned talent. Personally, myself, I feel like I would break character too much.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like chill streams. Like one of my favorite streamers, and his chat is not chill. Clint Stevens.
Why does that sound so familiar?
He's the guy that he did a lot of Ocarina of Time 100% speed runs.
I think I have. Was he on like any of the Games Done Quick?
I don't know if he's done Games Done Quick before, but I know he does a lot of like Smash 64 speed runs now too. I know he's playing Teamfight Tactics for a while as well.
Everybody is.
But yeah, like I don't know. He's funny. He just has his personality. Like there's no persona, but like that's what I'd want to do. Like that's what I want for my stream, is like having a chat that's that active, but like his chat says some stupid stuff sometimes. Like it's a speedrunner's chat. Yeah. So like if he so much as like trips over something, like reset. Yeah. But I mean that's kind of part of the whole like speed run kind of thing. I don't know, I would love to see like something like that. Like, chill personality. Like you can talk about anything you want, but like obviously like within the guidelines of TOS.
That's the thing that
chat always scrolling.
That's part of the reason why I like streaming to everywhere, because I don't like things being off limits. I like being able to talk about whatever the heck I want to talk about within reason, obviously. But like some of the things that I think that they like, for one thing, Twitch, not to rag on Twitch, because like as much as I criticize it, I do enjoy the service. Like there's a reason I stream there. Like if I didn't like it, I wouldn't stream there. But one of their, I think, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, hypocrisies in terms of their TOSs, where like they advise you not to talk about politics, yet they will also host and stream like political debates on Twitch. That? Yeah, dude, they had the whole Democratic candidate thing. Like they hosted that and streamed it on Twitch. So I'm like, all right, so pick one. Like either you don't want it at all, or like
that's a bad move.
The thing, I don't mind that they do it. I actually like that they do that. I like the fact that they're putting because I like the fact that you're getting people who may not have ever looked into politics at all a window, an opportunity to learn, which is cool. Like if they want to, it's not being shoved down their throats. Yeah. It's just a channel that's there.
They can click away.
They could just not watch it, like if they don't want to, which a lot of people didn't. So, or a lot of people did. If they didn't want to tune into it, they just don't tune into it, which is fine. But if you do want to, or you're a kid that's like, I want to be the president one day, like here's a place where you're already at, that you can kind of see how the process works.
So random.
It is random. But the thing is, I think Twitch is kind of getting to a point now where they're like, we do still want the focus to be games, 100%. However, we want people to feel free to do whatever the heck they want to do within these these like very tight parameters.
No, they lost a ninja and they're desperate.
That's possible too. That's the only reason. It's weird. I never really watched like the big personalities until he left. For whatever reason, like after he left, I was like, let me actually look at Shroud. Let me actually look at Dr. Disrespect. And like I'm finding that they're way more entertaining than I thought. I kind of had this thing in my head of just like, all right, well, they're big, like they they're doing the streamer thing, like where they're
Yeah.
just like, "What's up, guys?" Blah, 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 blah. Like, nah, like specifically, Doc, like the production value that guy puts into each stream is insane.
Oh, yeah.
Like every time I'm watching, I'm just like, I've never seen that scene before.
When
He
he
just
drives away in a car or whatever.
Yeah, like that, like the stuff where he's talking to himself in the mirror. Like I'm just like, this is hilarious and it's cool. Like it's funny. Like I'm like, all right, good on you. Like, and yes, I know he's had his own like controversies in the past and whatnot, but like that stuff aside, like he puts on a good show every stream, which is hard to do.
That's impressive, and that's probably all being done on OBS.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like
Yeah.
I know the software that he's using to do it. I know how he's doing each of the things too. Like technical side, I'm just like, that takes effort and work to do that, man. Like, good on you. Like,
It's a lot of attentiveness too. Like, I got to switch to this scene now. He probably has a really nice Elgato Stream Deck.
He probably has an Elgato Stream Deck,
Yeah,
or like the big. Have you seen the bigger version of it? Like that's like the big board. I imagine.
Wild looking.
He could also have like something even more higher end, like an actual switcher, like a Black Magic switcher, like an actual like production quality switcher.
He's
But
a
I don't know.
he's a big
He's
guy,
up there,
yeah. So I can see that being on
But-
budget.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you had any questions for me at all, man. I've been kind of just spinning over here. So
Oh man, no, this is cool. I've never been on a podcast
Yeah.
before. This is something that I kind of wanted to get into doing.
it's for me. It was like I wanted a way to have conversations with my friends or people that I think would be worth talking to and like bouncing off of. And I didn't want to do it in an environment of just like, all right, we got like a 15-minute thing. I'm going to go through these questions. You go. Like, I hate that. I like it where it's more like we're sitting down. Hopefully I can get like something a little bit better set up in here so that I can have like kind of a bar kind of situation going where I have like different drinks and whatnot and like, just chill out, sit down and talk. So it's fun. I like it.
Yeah. Do you have anybody like bigger coming up after this in mind?
Ooh. I thought about having, he offered it, but the guy is super busy. Mr. Julian.
I was gonna say you should get Julian.
I
on.
definitely, I thought about talking to him. Well, he offered it. He wanted to. He also wanted to play Call of Duty with me this weekend because apparently that dude also played Call of Duty in Black Ops 2 and was like ranked top 10. Like, I was like, you know what? I don't put it past you. Like, he just seems like the type of guy
I
that
could
like,
see him doing
yeah,
that,
like,
yeah.
But no, he's on the list somewhere. What I think I need to do next is really get a schedule down with like weeks out, months out in advance. Like, okay, I'm gonna have this person on this day. I'm gonna have this person on this day. Have this person on this day. But I also don't want to run into the trend of like only having streamers on.
Oh, yeah.
So far, like the first two guests have been like other streamers, which I like that. It's cool, but there's other stuff. Like I think one of the episodes will probably be a lot more of a deeper dive into like politics and stuff. Cause like I said, I like talking about that stuff.
Yeah.
I also like hearing ideas and stuff that I've never thought of. So especially when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like I have my own opinions when it comes to things, but those opinions don't get to evolve if I don't ever talk to anybody who has a different opinion, if that makes any sense. So, so there's that. The only downside to that is I feel like a lot of the people that are worth having those conversations with, they don't have anything to promote. And I really want when people are on here that their stuff gets promoted to some different eyes that maybe they wouldn't. Like, you know, it's part of the reason why I wanted you on here. It's part of the reason I wanted Hunter on here. I want your guys' stuff to be seen. Like, I'd like to like look down the road like 5-10 years from now and be like, oh yeah, that dude's blowing up now. Nice. Like, but I don't know. It came from a place of like, I used to do it before with a bunch of my friends and that kind of dissolved and I tried it again and that dissolved. And so I was just kind of like, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's what it comes down to sometimes is like you are your best judge on a lot of things. Yeah. So, hey, if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself sometimes. But I mean, I think this is cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad you enjoy it. If you don't have anything else, man, we can get out of here.
I'm trying to think.
Not to rush you. I'm not.
Oh no, you're good.
If you want to,
you're good. I think Liz is still playing D&D.
Yeah.
No, nothing really to go home to yet. I have all my videos chopped up for now.
Yeah, so we shot.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
What happened to the
So
fake Yu-Gi-Oh card episode?
So we for those of you who have not seen it or have not talked to me, we shot a very hilarious video about just like fake cards in general, and mainly Yu-Gi-Oh cards because they're some of the most ridiculous ones. But so looked at the footage. While it's not bad, the transitions are not great. Like,
are they erratic?
No, they are. So, for instance, the very first one, and you guys will notice this once it's like edited and put up. Normally, when you start like a thing like that, you would start on like the main shot. In this case, would be the wide shot, like that camera, like that would be the shot. That's not the one that it was started on. Whoever was, I don't remember who started it, but whoever started it started on the shot of the computer with the tiny little camera in the top right. And I was like, no. And silly me, I didn't record a raw feed on that camera so I could put that over it. Lesson learned, I'm recording on that camera now. So if I have to edit anything, I have that to go back to.
We'll
but
just redo that episode.
Yeah.
Really sick.
But I think it still came out really good. Like it is really funny. So it's just a matter of me sitting down, and it's going to take a little bit more effort to edit it than I initially thought. That's why I've kind of been putting it off, but I got to sit down and do it. I'll probably actually get a chance to do that a little bit tonight and some tomorrow. So hopefully it's out shortly after this video is out on next Wednesday. So
heck yeah. Well, I don't really know much else to say. Should I just plug my channel?
Yeah, plug it up, man.
All right, so if you guys are interested in live commentary and live gameplay of the Pokemon trading card game, we're going to put a link somewhere in the video, up here, over there, up, down, maybe right here somewhere. Twitch.tv/cramylad, CRAMYLAD. We stream every single Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. We're slowly moving to YouTube. I'm trying to get all my VODs pushed over there, but it takes time.
I wish that Twitch didn't force you to not be able to stream to two places at the same time.
Oh, I know. Then it would be so easy.
Yeah.
But if you guys haven't yet, though, drop me a follow on my Twitch. Come say what's up.
Follow this man.
And follow this guy, too. Make sure you give Joe a sub. If you have any questions for me as well that or I didn't answer something clearly enough, please leave a comment on the video.
We've got our Twitters. I'm going to put those in the description. Hit us up.
I'm cramylad everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But dude, thanks for having me on, man. This is sick.
You're very welcome, dude. Hopefully we have it back again. I really enjoyed this. But thanks again. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
See y'all later.
Peace.